Texas is abbreviated, so it's TX.
Well, sorry about that video there. I forgot when I take it off of the deal, it clicks off. But now we're recording, so we'll have to look at our face the whole time.
That's great.
And every now and then I'll go check on the deal. I shouldn't have to check on that. Make some time. Just once we get everything set, it sounds good.
Yeah, all I have to do is just go stop recording whenever we're done talking. But okay, sorry, we're still newbies. We're trying to
Yeah, we're gonna try to do this too to get on, to get on YouTube, get some our YouTube channel going or something too.
I don't know. People like watching it. I'm like that too. I like watching it.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're trying to get our base span a little bit bigger here, guys.
Yep. Okay, so do you want to start your story first, or you want me to start?
Well, let's see. What do you got?
I have a sanity.
Yeah, go ahead and do your insane side.
Okay, so this is the Trans-Alleghy Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia. So, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce anything. As you guys all know, I suck at words. So, okay, so you can apparently do ghost tours now. Here, it's I guess like the state park or something. Like it's not just abandoned sitting there.
Oh, so they're actually putting it to use. They're like just sitting there, like, well, there's a couple of them ones that you covered that they just got all boarded up and they don't want to let people in.
Yeah, I guess like this one. I don't know if it's.
And some of them, I guess, I could understand because the buildings are old as shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that or the history in that place is like really bad and they don't want people in there or whatever. But okay, so excuse me, this place was constructed between 1958 and 1881. There was constant construction on it, and it never was just like, okay, it's done, no more. So it was ongoing. Ow.
Kind of like the witch at the Winchester House.
Yes, yeah. And it was the largest hand-cut stone. It was the largest hand-cut stone mansion-y looking building, and the north.
Probably looked like a damn huge castle when it was all done, because no one's probably seen stuff like that at that time.
Yeah, it was pretty unique then. It was originally designed for like 200 patients, and then it actually opened. I got 2 different dates, but I really don't know which one's true. I got 1813, and then I got 1864.
Well, in 1813, I took a little trip.
But like, I'm pretty sure it's the 1864 one because, like I said, construction didn't begin until like at least 1858. I don't know where the 1813 came into place.
That is a little weird.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep that one in there though, in case, you know. Okay, so and then the peak that it reached in the 1950s was it reached like 2,400 patients.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was only built for 200.
So it was only built for 200 people, but there was over 2,000 patients there.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, so you
and
can
that's
imagine.
bad back then because it wasn't just the same asylums that I've noticed, like hospitals.
Yeah.
Even prisons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at first when they built them, they'd be like, oh, for 50 people, and then before you know it, they got 1,000.
Yeah, it was bad.
That seemed like an ongoing problem back then, whether it was hospitals, prisons, insane asylums.
Yeah, the only places that I noticed that weren't like that was like the hotels, because the hotels were like 7 feet tall, or not 7 feet tall, 7 floors tall.
Yeah, if they screwed up, they could just add on and make them bigger.
Yeah, but so obviously it ended up being way overcrowded. Like it was so overcrowded, and then obviously there was like really bad poor conditions because staff ratio to the patient ratio was like terrible. And then it closed in 1994. And it wasn't always, they called it the Nightmare Facility, which a lot of the places are called that.
Nightmare Facility. Oh yeah. I should like have this. I mean, I should give John these characters.
Oh gosh. Okay, so this is what I found interesting. They said that it wasn't always like that. Like, okay, whenever they first opened it, and it was like at least the 200 patients that were there, like before it went over capacity, they said that it was like really, really nice. the patients were allowed to be like in the sunlight, and they were allowed to walk like on the courtyard, and now they were out of their rooms, and they were able to like roam freely and everything. And it was like a really nice place, and that they were actually helping people.
That's crazy.
And they had working farms and a dairy spot, I guess, and they had like their own waterworks, a gas well, and a cemetery. And
they
it
were
was
busy little village.
yeah, and I've noticed that with asylums too. Like all their places pretty much like their own little city.
That's crazy.
And they said that the patients felt at home and well cared for and restored and stuff. But then when all the patients came in, whenever it was like overcrowded, that happened in 1881. There was an increase in, I guess, mental illness. I don't know if or what happened, but like I'm not really good on history, but it just happened, I guess, all of a sudden, and the facility was like overturned by patients, and they housed more of the. They were okay, so it only fit 200, and there was like 2,000 in there. But then I read that like they housed more than 500. So,
oh gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it obviously housed way more than it could fit.
Yeah, too. And when they start getting overcrowded like that, a lot of people slip through the cracks because they don't get the correct care.
Yeah, and some lived in like okay, so there was a room designed for one because it was 200, and then they ended up putting like 5 or 6 people in there. There's a room designed for one, so you can imagine how crowded that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so crowded.
Yeah. And they couldn't keep up with the patients, so it declined. And the farming and the dairy was only for 300, I guess, because they had extra for like the staff and stuff. I guess I don't know. And there wasn't enough for all the patients there, so they obviously like suffered from malnutrition. That's how you say it.
Yeah, malnutrition.
And then it made the mental issues like 10 times worse when they weren't getting like fed and everything else. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that didn't help. And then in 1938, there was 6 times more patients than it was built for. I'm pretty sure I said that right. And then because the patients were like not guarded or like not like looked at or like taken care of, they were running around like wild animals.
Anarchy. Yeah.
Literally. And it was outnumbered. There was no control. There was a camera crew sent in, kind of like off of AHS, American Horror Story. I guess they went in. I don't know how, but it didn't say how that came about. But they got sent in to do an expose on the conditions. There was patients sleeping on the floor because there was literally like 200 beds, and there was
we got 1,000 people.
Yeah, there was like so many.
Sleep on the floor.
Yeah, and there was no heat at all, so they're all freezing cold or whatever. There was the windows and everything used to be so clean, and now there was like grease and grit and all that on them. The wallpaper was either decayed or the patients had peeled it all off, so it was really gross. And then there was deranged patients locked in cages.
Deranged patients.
And then there was at least 4,000 lobotomies done there.
Damn. See, man, that just cracks me up. You think they would have noticed with them lobotomies that they weren't helping anybody? You think they would be going, oh shit, we're doing this, and it don't seem like it's helping because they're brain dead after we do it. But they kept doing it.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, we're helping.
Yeah, because it was weird. They drove that up in their, they'd go up here in your eye with a spike and shove it up in here and do this because they figured it was cleaning out the cobwebs. But what it was doing was knocking the, your brain and stuff, the connection it has with some crap.
Yeah.
Like the little nerve endings, I think the little nerve endings.
Mm-hmm.
It was knocking them loose. Yeah, it was fucking
and it killed a lot of them, or made them brain dead or like messed up for the rest of their life.
Well, Kennedy's family, when he was growing up, one of his sisters, they sent her away to one of the places and got that. Because back then, if you had money, you could get it done, and people were like wanting to do it and saying it was working, and they were basically guinea pigs.
Yeah, it was bad. And then in 1994, it closed. They said that the rooms are still filled with like all the medical equipment, the furniture, and there's like a bunch of wheelchairs in the hallway. So like I don't know why, but like I figured that like whenever a place closed, you would move everything out.
And apparently.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of places like they don't move anything out. They just
Yeah, a
leave
lot
it
of
there.
places. I've noticed that too. Like you're saying, it don't matter if it's a hospital, asylum, a prison.
just
They
like,
just
no.
leave everything.
Yeah, it's weird. Like especially with the hospitals, you think that they would
They
like
could take it and use it for other hospitals.
that, or like because like the old needle room, that's like a hazard.
Yeah.
Because like you can't keep out every single trespasser. There's some people that don't abide by rules. So that's crazy. That's pretty much all the history. So now we're gonna get on to some of the ghost stuff. Okay, so I guess some of the stuff did happen like while it was already running. I don't know what happened way before they built on, like I guess before they built on the land or whatever. It didn't really go back that far, but I do know some stuff that happened while they were there still. So okay, so some workers quit while it was still open because they heard unexplainable noises, and they heard like squeaking of hospital gurneys.
Yeah, squeaky, squeaky.
But there was like no one around, or there was no like one moving or anything. It was like just out of the blue, or like they weren't on the floor or something like that. It was just like, what? So, and I also found this out. There's at least 2,000 or more in the cemetery, and the cemetery is still there. Like, and all the bodies are still there.
Yeah, they can move some.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. And then they see like ghostly figures walking through halls at night, shadowy figures.
See, it's crazy. That would scare me.
Yeah. There's a doctor that used to work there, I guess, and it followed her home one night.
What?
Yeah, and there's also been things thrown at people, and things thrown at walls, and there's been like whispering.
And how I can do it, Clarice.
Well, okay, and then this is also something that this happened why it was up and running and stuff, but it's like I guess connected to ghost
Excuse
stuff.
me,
Like,
sorry about that, guys. I work on my manners.
Yeah, that was nasty. A patient got stabbed 17 times by another patient. Yeah. I don't know. It didn't say how or how that came about or something, but with how the facility was running, like they were just by themselves and they were all like mental patients.
They're just all running around saying anarchy.
Pretty much, yeah. And anything, and then 2 patients committed suicide in the same room, different times, and they hung themselves by curtain rod.
God damn.
So,
Man, it's just I don't know.
and then on one of the ghost tours, they took a EVP or whatever it's called to like hear stuff,
Oh God.
and they heard "Get Out" on it.
Well, imagine there's a lot of torn up souls there. I mean, God, people weren't getting,
I
you know, people weren't getting tended to like they should have.
Well, and then how ghosts get like stuck like in between worlds and stuff.
Yes.
Like you can imagine all the energy there and stuff. Just like the energy itself would just,
especially like a lot of the ghosts that don't know they're dead and they just keep hanging around.
yeah, or like the ones that were like really tortured and stuff are just like trying to find peace, but they can't.
Yeah. And then what's crazy is we have some ghosts that they know they're dead and they just stay there.
Yeah. The 3rd floor also is like really haunted. It's probably I think it's like the most haunted in the hospital. So another suicide happened on this one, or sort of like that. 2 patients got another patient and tried to hang him over like a balcony or something, like the stairs or something, like over it.
Oh my
And
God.
then when he didn't die, they beat him to death.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'm gonna beat your ass, boy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like
That's weird. They're like, well, he ain't dead, so let's just beat him to death.
Yeah, and it was by the mental patients.
The mental patients beat up their own golly.
So like I said, I don't.
Well, too, there's probably understaffed. They didn't have enough people.
Yeah,
to
that's
make
what I'm
sure crap
saying,
like
like-
that. There's probably a lot of stuff like that happening where inmates beat the other inmates.
Yeah, like about the fights and stuff. Like when the patient that stabbed the other one 17 times, like, and it could also be due to the lobotomies and stuff.
Yeah, making people crazy.
You know, like you just don't know.
Well, they did all sorts of stuff to them.
A lot of experiments. Like I know there was one that did like a radiation thing to them.
That's messed up.
Yeah. So there's doors that close by themselves, like open and close, like slamming and stuff. Like I can't deal with that. There's apparitions.
Like last night.
Yes. Yeah, there's apparitions and shadowy figures. There's a lot of strange noises, and there's toys, I guess, for like the little childrens that are still there. Little children. And they move all the time by themselves, and they turn on. And there's a music box that they have.
Well, too, you know. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's good.
But like a lot of them kids, they went to the insane asylums. They just got shipped there. A lot of them weren't even mentally unstable or nothing. They just got put there because they had nowhere else to stick them.
Yeah.
Because they were orphans. You know, the orphan places were packed, so they'd stick them in asylums.
Yeah, or like you said, if feeling they don't want them or something, they would go there. It sucks.
Yeah.
And then this is really creepy. Like there's a creeper person or like a shadow. Like I don't really. It didn't say what it was for sure, but it says creeper. The creeper person dies and it crawls on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, nope, I'm out.
That's kind of like that thing we was talking about last night. What was Justin talking about? The
rake.
The rake. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's a banging pipe sound, and there's screaming and moaning, and there's laughter. So there's kind of like a lot that goes on, and like I said,
there's a whole lot.
Yeah, there's like with
that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's all I got for that one. But like, it is. I would say it's haunted.
Yeah.
And with the ghost tours going on, I'm pretty sure that's not helping.
But it's cool how they're letting people go in and investigate and stuff, and it's not closed down. People can still go in there and investigate and all that.
Yeah.
That's also nice.
So what you got?
Well. Today, this stuff I got today is going to be from Louisiana. I'm going to be covering Louisiana stuff. Figured it'd be a little fun. I know there's probably a lot more stuff. I just seen what I just grabbed some of the first stuff I seen.
Out in the bayou?
Yeah. Well, this is a little story about the Manches West, the Manches Wetlands. The Manches Wetlands.
The Manches
I cannot say the Manches Wetlands. From northwest of New Orleans. And there are thicker woods. But be careful if you go out there, they say, because there's a voodoo queen out there named Julie Brown that just might get you. Then she goes by Julie Black? No, Julie Brown, Julie Black, or Julie Black, I believe. Yeah. But she was the voodoo priestess who lived on the outskirts of the edge of the swamp and worked with the residents of the nearby town, Frainer. And there was a couple of towns like that around this area because they were, I think they were logging towns. Because logging was pretty big in that area, so they were logging towns. There was like 3 of them. But she lived close to this. She was known for her charm and her charms and her curses.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people would come to her. As well as she was always known to, she'd sit there on a porch strumming a guitar, and she would sit there singing on the front porch with her guitar all the time, singing she'd sing a song that went, "One day I'm gonna be gone, I'm taking this whole damn town with me," and just, well, they say she was kind of bitter because she felt like they were just taking advantage of her. Because she was a good person, even though she was a fucking witch and had curses.
Yeah.
She was a good person, and too, I guess, she thought people were taking advantage of her good personality and her goodwill and all that. And she's a witch, she can do curses. So they say this is a reflection of her being mad. She kind of caused it, but it was a natural disaster. How did they even say she caused it?
Yeah.
Anyways, I told you about that town Freener she lived by.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a logging town, and there was a couple more of them in the area. Well, a massive hurricane came in September 29th of 1915. It was a massive hurricane that swept through the area and killed Julie.
Sorry.
It's my phone. Anyways. Okay, she got killed in the massive hurricane, and it, like I said, it wiped out that town, and I think 2 more others in the area. But the legend says that she put a curse on the town because, you know, like I said, she felt like she was being used. So they say that's her legend. That was her curse. That was her curse. She was singing when she was on the porch.
Mhm.
That was her curse to the whole area.
Okay.
Yeah. So the big yeah. They say that, you know, like I said, the storm wiped out the whole town and the other towns around it. And you say her ghost is still haunting the forest. She's just a pissed off soul, is what it sounds like.
Wait, so they like blamed the natural disaster on her? And
Well, yeah, because she was like a witch, and she was known to sit there on her front porch and be like, you know, one day I'm gonna sing it like one day I'm gonna be gone. When I do, I'm taking this whole damn town with me. And she was really because, like I said, she got tired of people just using her for curses and her charms and stuff.
But it's like, you can't. What?
Yeah, so when the hurricane came in and wiped out them towns and killed everybody, even her, they said that was her curse because she always sang, "If I die, I'm taking this whole damn town with me." Yeah. But they say she still haunts the forest, and there's been, you know, there's been sightings of her. Not, they don't know if it's her. They just see like an image of a woman.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody knows what she looks like. It's one of them like urban legends. I mean, I believe the woman did. She was really real, and that hurricane did come and wipe out them 3 towns. You know, so. But it's one of them cool stories, one of them cool legends. I'd kind of like to go see them swamps anyway, because, man, them swamps in Louisiana are creepy as shit to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, they got them cool trees that kind of hang over into the wood, into the swamps with the moss coming off the trees and stuff. But already looks creepy as shit.
But we should go to Louisiana.
Yeah.
We could visit the Long House.
Ah, we could visit. Yeah. Then there's certain tours you can take too. I was looking. Well, there's tours like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's the story of Julie Brown.
Can't believe the whole town blamed her for a natural
Yeah,
disaster.
for a freaking natural disaster. I mean, come on, guys. But
That's like a tornado coming over our house and saying something.
Yeah, well, they said, like I said, the reason they blamed her was because her sitting on the porch singing that song all the time. Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, think about it. I'd get pissed off too. People kept coming around for the wrong things all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
getting tired of taking advantage of.
I mean, so that's how it is in the hood.
Okay, well.
Well, don't sit on your front porch singing songs like that, because if a natural disaster comes, they're gonna blame you.
Yes, they will. Especially in
But
this
that
town.
would do that and creep your neighbors out to sit out there. One day when I'm gone, take this whole damn town with me.
Oh, you think you would come over here and like keep your guitar.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's my turn, and I'm going to be talking about please say this right, the Villea, the Axe Murder House.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in Iowa, Villea, Iowa. I can't talk. Okay, so
You can do it.
it's, yeah, okay. People, I'm pretty sure will know what I'm talking about without how. So, okay, so
You see, just gonna work on that.
what?
Going. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah.
Shut up, okay? So it was the town in 1912 had at least it had right a little bit over like 2,000 people, like, so it was like popular.
Yeah.
And then after the murders, now it's less than 1,000.
Oh my God.
So after the murders, like, everybody left. So what happened was, okay, so on June 11th, 1912, around or like between midnight and 5 a.m., the 8 people of this house that lived there were bludgeoned to death inside the home of the Moore family. That's what their name, the last name was. There was 6 family members and then 2 friends of one of the daughters. There was 6 victims that were children, and then the other 2 were the parents. in the evening, no one heard or noticed anything. And then the next morning, the neighbor went to check on them because she said that they hadn't came out like to, do their daily stuff, like water the plants or like walk their dog or something like that, like just do their daily
Well, they
stuff.
probably had to get milk and stuff like that too, because this was back in the 1800s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, not 1800, 1912.
Well, 1912, but still, they didn't have electricity wasn't really big.
You had to be like rich, I think so. And so she went to go check on them, and they didn't answer, and the door was locked. So she was like, "Oh, that's weird." So she called the husband's brother.
Sure.
And so he came and he unlocked the door, and he found everyone murdered.
Could you imagine walking in on something like that, going into your brother's house and seeing everybody?
Oh, that would
freaking
tear me up. That would.
And not just like shot in the head. I mean, an axe and just.
Well, whenever I read about this, because I've heard about. Okay, let me backtrack a little bit. I'm gonna reference American Horror Story again. Remember Coven, the 3rd season? You know how there was the axe murder, the guy that was out. There's a story of the axe murders that were in Louisiana, but this is in Iowa, so I'm not positive. But he it's so familiar to him.
That's crazy.
And it wasn't just that house; it was like numerous houses. They never caught the killer or anything. So I just was like, what?
That is strange.
Sorry. I've noticed after watching American Horror Story that like a lot of these are connected.
Oh, I know. See, that's one thing I like about American Horror Story.
They base it so much off true stuff.
A lot of their stuff is true.
Yeah.
I've noticed, because even from the first season, if you start looking up some of that other stuff that happened, it really happened.
Yeah.
Like that one actress that got chopped up in pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That really happened, and some of the other stuff we talk about really happened. And I really do think there was a doctor who had the house at first. There really was a doctor, and he did like illegal shit in his basement.
Yeah. So, but okay, so
plastic surgery and stuff like that for Hollywood.
So the police think that the killers were already in the attic, because they think it was more than one. I'm not really sure.
Well, I mean, I've always heard that story too, and you'd have to be. How in the heck? I've always wondered.
How do you kill 8 people?
Yeah, how in the hell do you go and kill 8 people in their sleep without the others not waking up or hearing anything? I know I sleep hard, but come on.
I know I'd probably sleep through that, because I mean I can sleep through like.
So they'd have to have somebody kill the adults first,
or something like somebody like a help or something.
They'd have to, because I mean, well, like the mom and dad, they step in the same room. How the heck did one get killed and not the other? I mean, how did one get killed and the other one not here? Because one of them had to go first. You know what I mean?
I don't know. So they think the killers were in the attic and were waiting, because there was no sign of a break-in or anything. And I guess they left the door unlocked or something. I don't know.
Back then, man.
Well, back then you could do that.
Yeah,
now
back then it was different. People left their doors open, their cars unlocked. They had cars, and you didn't. I mean.
Yeah, now
that's just the way it was.
Totally different world.
Now you can't trust hardly anybody.
So.
But I trust you, listeners.
Yeah. Okay, so that was like the big thing that happened, and it was devastating, and the whole town was mourning over it. I guess because they were like really nice people in the town. It was there, but So, like I said, the town population went way down, and so it said that it had a few different owners and stuff, and I'm not really positive what it is now, but I think it's a B&B, but I'm not 100% positive.
You stayed the night there?
Yes.
I mean, that's not somewhere where like one person got killed. That was like numerous.
I think it's a B&B, but I'm not positive. But I also know that you can stay overnight, so I think they might have turned it into like a paranormal investigation thing. I'm not 100% positive. I didn't see anything on it. I'm just kind of like.
You're like, not for sure, Pee-wee.
Yeah, I'm not positive, so don't take my word on that one. But
she's positive. Take her word for it, and then email her about all the shit she's saying that is so wrong. Tell her.
So okay, I know you can stay at the house overnight, and you can get a tour.
That's crazy.
And they said that.
I guess if let's say our fans were like, "Hey, y'all stay the night there, do a podcast there." I mean, if the fans wanted me to, I would. I'd be scared as hell.
Yeah.
Could you imagine us doing a podcast like we're doing right now in like a haunted house and something flop up behind the screen while we're talking, or something come over the mic while we're talking, and doing things?
Yeah, I know. So, okay, you can hear, like, obviously the strange noises and stuff. And then you can hear children crying, I guess, when they got murdered or whatever, or afterwards.
Oh,
And then you can hear whispering and things move all the time. They say furniture's rearranged and this and that. So, okay. Whenever you go do paranormal investigation, you use an EVP or whatever it's called, EVP or whatever. Whenever they went and did it, some paranormal activity happened. Where it was active where they died, didn't say where, but I obviously, because they were asleep, because it was between certain times, like in their bedroom and stuff. It was really active where they died, and the stuff that happened was like they were touched, scratched, they were grabbed. A shadowy figure with a face and pupils and ears and like hair like appeared, and then
that's better.
Yeah.
Sorry, the chair was a little loud.
The EVP reveals a lot of voices of the children and the parents. And then apparently there's satanic rituals there.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, but that's kind of all I have. My biggest thing is I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's connected because it's like the axe murdering thing. And I've read so much about it, and like I've heard, like I listened to podcasts about it and
but
stuff.
It's kind of hard to say, you know, like you said, if it's real, because one was in Louisiana and one was in Illinois.
Well, it's Iowa, but
Iowa.
The coven was in New Orleans or whatever, in Louisiana, because of the Laura House.
Oh yeah.
So, but like I said, they don't do it like always where it is.
Yeah, that's true. They really don't.
Like the Briarcliff Manor House, that's not exactly where it happened or where it is. So
yeah.
But I don't know. It makes you wonder.
Oh God. Well, I mean, when you have that many people die and just
and that brutal.
And that kind of tragedy. There's gonna be some kind of spirit still there. There's gonna be something.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Because their life was cut short, and I mean, it's like they said, that's a hell of a way to die.
Well,
I mean, there wasn't just one person; it was like a whole fucking family got.
Well, and it wasn't just the family too; it was sort of their friends.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they had 2 people still in there. Mm-hmm. So you want to stay at your friend's house now?
I love friends.
How about your friends in Idaho?
I don't got friends in Idaho. Iowa.
I mean Iowa.
Well,
I got another voodoo story, I believe. Yeah, this one's Alice Penny. Yeah, Alice Penny Taylor. Not much was known about her. She passed away in 1859, and that's where the story begins. No one really has a whole much of her life like when she was alive.
They just know her when she died.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's when they started. She started haunting the cemetery. They'd see her. They'd see her apparition and her ghost. They reports all the time. Well, then in the 1950s to the 60s, there was 3 episodes, I think. In this woman's tomb she got buried in, she was it was like one of the tombs like the Egyptians were buried in. It was like that. It had a marble slab on top. I mean, pretty thick slab. You have to be machinery or grown men to help move this thing. There was 3 occasions where they had reports that someone opened that thing up and took her bones and stuff out and set them outside. It happened like 3 times. Wow. They don't know if it was just like the kids, because kids always like to go out there, because her story, haunting the
kids like to hang out together.
Yeah, so they like, what's a teenage thing? Hey, let's go hang out there. Let's drink some beer, look for that ghost. Well, then I guess they're not for sure if it was paranormal activity or it was the kids. But even some of the people were like, yeah, but you'd still need a lot of kids to move that. That marble slab, which is like, I think it was that thick, the pictures I seen. And it's just, like a tomb, like the Egyptians are buried. That long and about that thick. And, it had to be, the width of your body. So there's no way in hell, I don't think the teenagers moved it. But that's where they were like, well, But what's funny is when the cemetery went and put some bars on it or something, and it hasn't been moved since. But she's still reported all around that cemetery. But that's just weird. No one knows a whole lot about her. you know, at all until she passed away. Some say her ghost. Yeah, some say her ghost is looking for her family, or she was looking for a way out of the cemetery to go get revenge. Because she's got another little story behind her. They thought she was like a little witch and all that stuff. And that's why there wasn't a whole lot about her, because she really wasn't in the papers much or anything. She kind of was a homebody. She kept to herself. But that's, that's another, that's how it was back then. People thought you were witches when you weren't, just because you stayed at home and didn't go and weren't social.
Yeah.
They thought you were,
so
oh, she's the devil! She's the devil! Because she don't get out of her house!
I forbid you.
Hey, people, I don't hardly get out of my damn house for anything.
Nope.
Well, I got 2 podcasts I do, and that's fun. It keeps me busy with my kiddos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it with her. There's, like I said, there's not much prior to her dying, but it's like once she died, man, she started haunting that cemetery. And like they said, in that 10-year span from 1950 to 1960, there was her slab, that top of the slab was open to move 3 times.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it's so heavy that
yeah, I still
I
think
couldn't move that.
teenagers
You
could
couldn't
do
move
it.
that. Like it would take like 4 of us to move that.
I mean, it'd take a lot of fucking people. Them slabs are big.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm like, and who knows? Nobody really knows her past either. She might have been into some witch stuff, or she, there is no telling.
Or she came back for revenge.
Revenge on what? I don't know.
That is kind of weird though. Like you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like stories like that. Like you don't know, because I don't like the uncertain. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's where you can do the ghost story stuff, and I'll do the stories like this where it's a lot of urban legend and folklore. Because I kind of like them too, because stories like that have been around, think about it, since the Indians were here. They have a lot of folklore legends. Like they got one, there's one of a big hawk or something in Oklahoma. Supposedly comes down and attacks you.
Ew.
Yeah.
I go to Oklahoma. That's no. I don't want to eat them. Is that all on here?
Oh yes, I am done with mine. Little Papa Walkie. Now it's your turn.
Serious ghost. Okay.
See, this ain't bad. We've done 2 stories apiece and we're right at 37 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be covering the Ohio State Reformatory. This is in Mansfield, Ohio. Obviously, because it's Ohio State. So, this was formerly known as the Mansfield. Shut up.
Formerly known.
It was formerly known as the Mansfield Reformatory Historic Prison. And this thing has been like a couple things, so just bear with me. It opened in 1886, and it is nearly 130 years old, so it has some history.
Just a little.
just a little bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit. There was a lot. There was a lot of rioting and like the patients or inmates. They fought each other and stuff. I mean,
They were pissed off.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of how it is now in prison. Though everyone fights.
Well, yeah. But that's always been like that
Yeah.
in prison, The people always gripe that our prison conditions here are bad. Man, we got it made easy compared to some of these countries, fellas. Some of these countries, these prisons are nasty. They don't have running water in them. They got to piss and shit in buckets. They get treated like fucking cattle. When it's time to eat, they just come by and throw food out sometimes at some of these places. And if you don't know how to get out there and scrap and throw down, you ain't gonna eat.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
So yeah, it's just always kind of been angry like that in different places.
And it's overcrowded. The isolation cells, they're like really overcrowded. And then
We haven't heard that before. I think every damn one
I know.
you've done. Well, they started out and they just did it for 100 people, but when it was said all done, they was doing 5,000.
Yeah, just be prepared. It's always gonna be overcrowded. And then So the cost for this place was about 1.3 million, and it took about 10 years to build.
Jeez, that's a long time.
Yeah. So in 1886, when it opened, they accepted 150 inmates, even though it was like not finished because it took 10 years to build.
Let's just open her up. Rain coming and gives a shit.
Yeah. So they
I don't.
They had a punishment hole, or like a cell. They had either like a punishment hole or like a celding.
You're a celding.
Like a spot that they would go put prisoners if they were bad or misbehaved. They would leave them there for 3 days. No shower or bath.
Kind of like the hole.
Yeah, no water.
Yeah.
No bathroom.
No electricity, no nothing.
No food.
No
nothing.
window in the room, anything.
Yeah, for 3 days.
Imagine just going in your closet. They're ripping out the concrete, ripping out the carpet in your closet and putting just making the walls cold like concrete and stand in a dark closet like that for
3 days.
3 or 4 days. It would be amazing.
It'd be fun. So one time there was 3 prisoners that all went in the hole or whatever you would call it, and only 2 came out. So one died in those 3 days.
Wonder what happened there.
Yeah, it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear. It didn't say if like they killed him or like they got hungry and ate him or what.
There ain't no telling in prison like
Yeah.
that. Well, too, it's dark. You don't know what the hell's going on.
Well, okay. And there was also 4 movies made, like 4 major movies, but I only got one written down because I didn't feel like
That were
writing the list.
That were made at that prison.
Yeah, one of them's Shawshank.
Okay, see, I remember this prison now because I was watching something on the History Channel. They said when they was getting ready to tear the building down, Hollywood drove up that day and was like, no, don't tear it down. We want to use it for a movie. We got a big movie. Because what they do in these movies, they have these people called scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And they pay them, and their job is to go out and find locations that fit the script to their movie that these writers gave them, the producers and the directors. That's what their job is, to go find something that makes it as close as you can. So when he found this, he found out they were tearing it down, and he had to haul ass. And, I mean, they got there when they was fixing to come in with the wrecking ball and just tear the fucking place down.
So we saved it from being.
Yeah, Hollywood saved it. I don't know if Hollywood bought it, but now now it's like a museum or something, right?
We'll get to that at the end of my notes. I don't remember.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how it got saved.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so like I said, it was 10 years to build. It finished in 1919. That math don't.
Well, that makes sense though, man, because I remember all the movie of that fucking prison. It was huge. Huge.
Yeah.
And back then too, they used a lot of them big stones and stuff. You notice that?
Yeah.
They don't have to do that now. Now it's concrete and stuff like that. But back then they would actually carve out a lot of these stones from the earth to use in these massive
Like it was like
prisons.
actually like handmade.
Yeah.
It wasn't like.
So that's another reason probably why it took so long.
Yeah. So it was 600 single cells and it was 6 stories. So it was like 100 on each floor. And then, whenever it went like way overcrowded, it went from, so like there was 600 people that could fit, and then it went like multiplied by 3. So like there was 1 man in a cell, and then there was 3 men in a cell.
Oh my God! So it went from, what'd you say, 2 to 3?
No, 1 to 3.
Oh, 1 to 3.
So instead of like 600, multiply that by 3. So.
Jeez. See, and that was another problem I've noticed looking at old, like I was saying, looking at these old asylums and prisons. When they built them, there was only built
think
for
about the future.
200 people, and then
they don't say no or something more extended.
Yeah.
I don't understand. So they had a torture device. They had this thing called the butterfly, and it was an electrico. That's what it's weird name. Electric torture device thing. It's special. I don't. It's hard to pronounce. It was a torture device, but it was like electric. They worded it really weird. I'm sorry. It didn't ever say what it was used for. Or
Was it that thing they used shock treatment when they used to shock the piss out of their heads?
I'm not totally sure.
They used to do that too.
Because it's called something else. That's called something else.
I can't remember what that's called. Shock treatment.
But they called it the butterfly. I don't know if they made their own name for it or like what. But.
Do the butterfly.
And then so the people that got in trouble that were like rich, they gave those people like specialized treatment. Like special treatment, like.
So, like, let's say if I had money and I seen you there, or you went there,
I would get
and we had money. Hey, take care of her. Don't beat her.
Yeah, I would get pampered.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, see, and that's how a lot of stuff was back then. You know, a lot of prisons were known, you know, back then for, hey, give them awarding some extra money, get some benefits. See, that's why the Colombian cartels and the Mexican cartels do not want to get prosecuted and brought up.
Because I'm having a blonde moment. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had to that wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's why they don't want to get caught or be up here because.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over like a list of like kind of like what they have and kind of like a little bit of like what happened there. So.
Well, you go, girl. Sorry.
Okay, so there's a sanctuary. And that was where you would be executed. And back then they didn't have the electric chair, so it was like the hanging kind of death. Like you would literally be hung on your noose.
Oh God.
And they say that's like the place for the hauntings, like the main place.
Well, yeah, because I think back then it was a firing squad or like you said, hanging, because they didn't have electricity yet, so they couldn't do the electric chair. They couldn't do what else is the one they do now?
Lethal injection.
Yeah, lethal injection. They didn't have that yet, so it was either firing squad or hanging.
Yeah, and then they have the
Inferno.
No, the hospital thing, the infirmary. Frick.
Where they stick all the dead bodies.
No, I can't say it. I can't talk. The infirmary. Infirmary.
I know what it is, but now I can't say it right because every time I try. Anyways, I know what you're talking about.
But I need them to know what I'm talking about. Infirmary. Okay. Whenever you get sick in like a asylum or something and you go to this spot. I can't say it. I'm having issues.
Sorry.
So there was a lot that died there because I guess back then they didn't have like a lot of cures that we have now for sickness, and also they were in prison. So like whenever you got sick, they just left you to die there. They were just like, oh, you're sick, bye.
Sorry, bitch, I ain't helping you, you're sick.
Yeah, they didn't help them like with anything. They were just like,
It's
bye.
messed up. What's messed up is a soup sandwich.
And they had a basement, and there apparently was a guard there that was beaten to death, and there was another like prison person, an inmate that was beaten to death too.
Yeah.
So that was a story.
Well, everybody just liked to beat the crap out of everybody.
Yeah, there was a lot of fighting. There was also a library there. There was a young woman, like a librarian, murdered by an inmate.
Jeez. See, man, I don't know if I could work in a prison.
Oh no, I can't. I cannot do that.
I don't know. That'd be too much.
There's the cemetery, and they say like you have like flowers out there or like something like that. They move all the time. They don't stay in one place.
They don't like your flowers. That's crazy.
And then the chambers, like off the cells, they call them chambers, I guess back then. The cells. I guess this one person got sick or something, and he said that he went to go lay down and he felt a woman pull a blanket over him and tuck him in. But there were no women allowed there, and I mean he was by himself. Like he looked up and there was someone there. So
Wow.
it was.
That would be creepy as shit.
Yeah, I would be like, what? And then the security guard.
What's a security card?
The security guard that died in the basement. He has been seen like all over the place. So, there's ghost tours. I don't know if I said
Ghost tours?
Yeah, ghost tours.
Sounds like you're saying ghost stores.
That's my accent, okay? Ghost tours.
Howdy, y'all. That's my accent out there, because I'm from Texas. We talk, every one of us talking like that.
I wonder how we sound other.
I don't know. I probably do got a big twitch.
Okay, so whenever you walk through the halls of the prison, you can feel and hear like the frustration and the despair and the rage.
Just pissing them off.
Like everything.
Well, I mean, there's just a lot of rage, a lot of, I mean, prisons weren't no fucking, I mean, they're not today, but back then they really weren't.
Yeah.
Cakewalks.
And then they say the spirits of the inmates haunt the halls and like cells and visitors. But that's pretty much it that I have for y'all. Do you have another story?
Yeah, I do. If you would, I gotta be good enough for one more. Because we did fill in for 3, right? Yeah.
That was my third one.
That was your third one? Oh, I see what you did. Yeah, I got one more. Okay, well mine. Okay. Yeah, next podcast we'll have to do with the lights on because I can't.
Can't see?
Yeah, 'cause I'm getting old and I need better lighting and I need new glasses and I'm gonna have to get fucking bifocals, so.
That's what happens when you get old.
Well, shut up. That's what happens when you get young. Just shut up.
Okay, continue.
Okay, I'm going to be talking about the Mary Jane Bridge. There's a tiny bridge outside of Browsing, Louisiana, on the Bayou Country Road off of Highway 90. There's a tiny bridge known as Mary Jane's Bridge. The story goes on her prom night the story is that on her prom night, her date night raped her.
That's messed up.
He raped her and then beat her to death, and then in panic, he threw her over the side of the bridge.
In panic?
Exactly. He beat her and raped her. That's what I could understand. In panic, he threw her over the bridge.
He's like, oh, I don't want to get caught. Bye. Like,
yeah, that's what I couldn't understand. Okay, you was in panic. You just got there raping and beating the shit out of this girl, but
and that was her prom date? Wow,
yeah,
that's a good
I guess that's how he freaking makes love and like falls in love with women. He's like, when I was in love, I don't remember. I panicked. Yeah, I thought that was weird. They say they never found her body.
I would
and the date claims he didn't rape her or beat her or nothing. He claims that she just fell off the bridge. Then the legend goes, her ghost, a woman in white. And I made sure I put that in parentheses.
A woman in white.
Yes,
almost
another
every
woman in white.
Story.
And okay, this one, a woman in white. She haunts the area and the bridge. Legend says if you drive on the bridge and turn off your headlights, that she will appear looking at you through the window.
I wonder what she does to men.
I don't know. Well, they don't. I mean, there's no reports for doing anything to men, but they say you drive up on the bridge and turn your headlights off. She'll appear looking at you through the window. That would be weird. I'd be like, ugh.
I would not. I would be like,
yeah, but that's what threw me off. That's another one of the urban legend things.
Well, and then the part where you're like, but he panics.
Yeah, it definitely said he beat her to death and he panicked and threw her over the bridge. And I'm thinking, it's kind of too late to already panic, buddy. You already fucking beat her and raped her.
That makes me wonder, did he see a car coming or like something? And
well,
he's
that's
like,
true
too.
Yeah.
That's so messed up.
True too.
And then they never found her body. Like that girl didn't even get justice.
Yeah, nothing. See, and that's why a lot of, I think, ghosts are, that's another reason they say ghosts are out here, because a lot of them never got justice.
Justice or peace or like.
And I've seen, have you ever seen this on some of your ghost stories? And y'all might have out there, like you hear some of these ghost stories, and the ghost is trying to say something to bring their murder back up and get people to look at it again. And they usually find the person that murdered them and their spirit can rest. You ever seen stories like that?
Yeah, like, okay,
That's
so our
crazy.
ghost shows are like not Ghost Adventures, My Haunted House, or like the ones with the medium in it.
Yeah.
She finally gets them to go into peace. Or like pass.
See, that's what I think a lot of the problem is. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's just like that accident. The people died in a tragic death.
Yeah, that was tragic. Okay, I actually want to do one more. Can I do one more?
Well, we're done 3 apiece.
Can I do one more?
How long is it going to be?
It's a really short one.
Okay, we'll do one more shorty for you fellas. But
Sorry.
hey, we're doing good. We're getting close to an hour.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a blanket up for next time we do this because that looks so. I just want to do a try run, so that looks so trashy.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
gonna keep the light on.
For the
this time.
people who aren't seeing the video, we
Yeah.
aren't fancy yet. We don't have a separate podcast room. We took over my brother's room.
Yeah.
And so you can
yeah.
see everything, and so we're thinking about just getting like redneck in
blanket
it and
right
putting a
behind
blanket
us.
behind us.
Just for the
whenever we
next
do the
couple
videos.
podcasts. Ooh, since we're doing a ghost one, this would be a great idea. I could go and get Ashley over here to help us. We can do the same thing for hers. But we can get a sheet for the background and paint like ghost stuff. Or we could paint ghost stories told from the South
Oh yeah, that would be cool.
and have some ghost on them. Just get some old sheets and just put them, hang them to put behind us.
Pinterest,
look
that
at my
stuff.
muscles.
Okay, let me. They also remember the people listening can't also see it right now because we're not there yet. So okay.
Oh, but they will.
They
Because all
will.
that stuff I'm going to put
Eventually.
on eventually.
Okay, so let me stop. Let me do this one real quick because I was looking at it and I was like, hey, this kind of goes with the axe murder, so let me sell it. Okay, so this is the Lizzie Borden house. This is in Fall River, Massachusetts.
See, and that one was crazy too.
Wait, you heard about this one?
Lizzie Borden? Yeah, that's famous. Everybody knows about her.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I've known about her since I was a kid. Lizzie Borden, they say she got away with killing her mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for the people out there who don't know what I'm talking about.
That's
Okay.
a good famous story.
So, on August.
What is it with you and axes today?
Well, it's.
I've noticed you really focused on axes.
Shut up.
You want to go chop some wood later with Dad? You want to try to chop my hand off or something? Or be
No.
like, hey, Dad, remember Lizzie?
No. Okay.
Run.
So on the 4th of August, 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden were found brutally murdered in their home with an axe. Again, an axe. Abby had 18 strikes and she died cleaning the guest room. And Andrew had 11 strikes and he died sleeping on a couch.
That's what was crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of it?
No, I couldn't look at the pictures.
Oh,
I
you've
should've,
got
I
to
kinda wanted
because they really showed the dad, and he's sitting there like he's just like this,
just
and
laying
his
down.
head's fucking split wide open. Yeah. Where's my
Dang.
phone? Keep talking.
So the murder, the cops said the murder looked like an inside job because there was no signs of like a break-in or anything. And Lizzie said Lizzie was the only one home during the murder, but she said she didn't hear anything. And Lizzie's friend later saw her burning a dress or something that had like blood on it. And so that was weird. But she said it had old paint. So she was like, the friend was like, okay, whatever. And then the axe was never found, never came up. And the dress was never found, never came up until her friends came. So that was weird. But they said that they were trying to charge Lizzie or something. And then she was like,
Yeah, look.
oh my God.
Yeah, that's
Sorry, I'm looking at the pictures.
the dad. He was legitimately sleeping on the fucking couch.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know if y'all can see that, but yeah, that's they can't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him on the couch. You got him.
She jeez.
Yeah.
She didn't try to get any part of his body. That was all to his head.
Yeah, everything was to his head. Everything.
What about the stepmom? Because Abby wasn't the mom. She was the stepmom because I
Yeah.
guess, I don't know what happened to her actual mom. I guess she died or something. I think maybe,
I'm
or
not for
remarried.
sure.
I don't know. But Andrew was her actual dad, and Abby was her stepmom. And apparently she was mad at her dad for remarrying or something. I don't know. It wasn't clear what her motive was. You might know. I don't know.
That was the stepmom's face.
That's the face?
Yeah, she was that Florida.
Dang. Yeah, because Abby had 18 strikes and her dad only had 11.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I guess, because I honestly really don't know why. Her motive, I guess I think they said her motives were still unclear.
Yeah, she got hurt about between the bed and the...
Jeez.
Axed the shit out of him. But she didn't do it, goddamn.
Yeah, she got away with it.
That's crazy.
I think they tried to prosecute her or something, but they didn't have enough evidence. Even though, obviously. But they didn't have, the lie detector.
See, that's her face in the carpet. You can see some of the hits to the axe in the
Oh
hole.
my god.
Yeah. Yeah, she's never seen the pictures, people. I'm sitting here telling her and showing her, and she's like, what the...
Yeah, sorry. Okay, so let me move on just, a little bit.
Yeah, they found her just like that, face down.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it looked like she got hit from behind doing work or something.
Yeah, she was cleaning
and
the guest
dad,
room.
he was fucking sleeping in his goddamn... I mean, look,
He was sleeping on the
literally
couch. Jeez. Oh
take
my
a little
God.
nap and just...
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that. Okay, so now apparently it's a bed and breakfast. And there's also ghost tours on it, and you can stay there, obviously, it's a bed and breakfast. But they said that the fire alarms go off at 3 a.m. and every few months while everybody's sleeping.
Ew. See, what is it with 3 a.m., man?
Because it's the witch hour.
Remember the kids were on that 3 a.m. bullshit for a while, saying, "No, we gotta stay up till 3."
Yeah, because that's when the ghost that's if you want to go do EVPs or whatever, that's the most active hour is 3.
Huh. I always thought it was midnight. I don't know why.
Everyone now says it's 3. But and then there's high frequencies where there were murders in the guest room or the couch.
Oh man.
And then there's ghosts in the mirrors and on cameras, in the mirror, whenever you're looking in the mirror, you can see their ghosts and stuff. The room where Abby died, that's the most popular, probably because she got hit in the head the most.
Yeah, she looks like she got hit in the back of the head.
Yeah, she got
a lot, and the old man got it kicked his face.
Yeah, and then you can hear creaking upstairs and no one's there. They're walking upstairs. The doors open and close by themselves.
Huh, sounds familiar.
Yeah. There's a faint smell of floral scent, I guess Abby's perfume.
Wow.
And then the owner, I don't know if it's the new the ones that own the B&B or something, but she or he woke up at 3 a.m. and they saw the chandelier on, and the light was getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and then it just busted.
Damn.
Yeah. And she ran out. She was like, "Oh, forget this."
Yeah, I don't blame her. Forget you, mother.
Yeah. So, well, that's it.
That's cool. See, that's a cool story because when she went to trial and all that, people thought she was doing it for the inheritance, of course, because her dad was apparently rich.
Yeah, that was another motive too.
Yeah, but she never got accused of it or anything. They never found the murder, but everybody suspected she did. Because she was in the house when the murders happened. How do you not hear that?
Yeah, I get her dad not here because he was asleep in I think pretty sure the stepmom got hit first.
She had
way
to.
upstairs. She was way upstairs.
Yeah, she would have to. Unless that old man was a hard sleeper. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Well, and getting hit in the head like that, you really can't scream after that. It's a lot of brain damage.
Well, and too, she might have had help doing it. Think about it. She could have gave somebody some money, and
I didn't think about that.
because no one said anything about seeing anybody come and go out of the house.
Well, that's true. Well, no, I did
did.
read something about the nanny, or not the nanny, the housekeeper.
Yeah.
Being there, but she said that she wasn't in the house, or she was upstairs or something with Lizzie, or I don't know. But they could live together.
They could have, because her dad had a lot back then. He had a lot of money back then.
Well, I think that's all we have for you guys.
I hope y'all had a good time at that in our first live little bit there. We're gonna get better at everything.
Yeah.
We're just trying to get more auctions. get us out there more and stuff, you know, because I know there's probably some platforms y'all don't have or can't hear us. So if we figure we get on YouTube, y'all can see our ugly mugs. So
thanks.
Hey.
Shut up with the pimple. I hate you. I have a pimple on my freaking face.
And then she cut her finger.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, guys, y'all hit us up on our email at ghoststoriestoldfromthesouth@gmail.com. Hit us up on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, and
check out our Instagram and Twitter at South Texas Ghost.
They're both there.
I know.
But yeah, y'all guys hit us up, keep listening to us, and keep liking our stuff, hitting the subscribe button to keep downloading.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing, we really need y'all to really start listening to the podcast the whole way through too, please. So we want to thank
feel free to always DM us and stuff. Tell us what we can do to improve. If you have any advice for us, please let us know, because we are like...
Yeah, because we really want to do this like for a long time, so we're not going nowhere. We want to get better, so we can get better if y'all can tell us where we sound.
We want to be quality.
Yeah, we want to be great.
100% quality.
So, but yeah, y'all hit us up at all them places and pods, and we'll see y'all later. This has been Stephen Booth and
Lexi Booth
for Ghost Stories Told from the South, and we will thank y'all later. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Bye. Okay, I probably Me?
No, I was talking about get this. Move it here. Stop.